It's June the 12th, 2024. Links Manager James Bledge here. We're going to have a quick flyover through the course. You can see the lawns on the left-hand side, beautifully striped up and looking very nice and ornamental, with the range on the right-hand side now, fully functional with the grass range and also the AstroTurf at the back. We'll be switching between these. You can see the right-hand side in the out of bounds growing in beautifully now. It's not too thick, but it makes the hole itself stand out a lot better, which we feel is much more aesthetically pleasing. Very pleased with the course condition for this time of year. The weather's really helped. A lot of rain recently, which is very good for growing grass, maybe not so good for golf, but the definition's fantastic. So we're making our way up the second hole now. Everything still fairly green. You can see some high spots that are starting to dry out a little bit. I would expect in the next few months we might turn a little bit more linksy and be even firmer, but as it stands just now, the course is playing pretty firm and fast. The greens this morning were stimping just shy of 10 feet, which is very, very good for this time of year. The tees are a little darker than usual. They have been fed with a high nitrogen fertiliser at the end of the spring, and they've had a little bit of iron as well to darken them up. So we're heading up the third fairway now. A lot of the gorse work on the left-hand side is really coming to fruition now. With 3 types of gorse trimming this winter, where we've been hacking it down to ankle height and just trimming with a hedge trimmer. So we're doing 3 stages over 3 years to really get the gorse under control. So we're actually using a new drone now. We've got the Mavic Pro 3 from DJI, which you can see the picture quality is really first class, and we've actually planned a route around the course using waypoints, so we can actually do this exact flight path again and again through the seasons to see the course developing. So one of my favourite holes now, the 4th, beautiful par 3. One of the big improvements we've actually done that has come into view in this hole is the scrape of Burnet Rose on the right hand side of the 11th tee. We've turned that into a sandscape, as you can see now, peering through the back of the firs, which is really nice. There's a lot of sand now appearing all over the course, and as we turn back to look down 5, you can see the scrape that we put in last year. And also the scrape front left now, where at the start of the fairway, where before we had gorse. So now an errant tee shot to the left hand side can be seen and more chance of finding it. And a lot of gorse work done on the right as well, you can see, and it's actually started to grow back. Been working hard on the fairway split here. We've removed all the Burnet Rose chemically, and introduction of this new fairway at the front left here that attaches to the surrounds made it a lot fairer, especially on shorter hitters. So flying round it to the 6th hole now. The only thing we've really changed here recently in the 6th is we've widened the fairway at the right hand side to give golfers a little bit more room. And if you take the less risky shot and bail out right, then you've got a harder shot into the green over the bunkers. So the brave shot really is up this left hand side, tight to the hedge, giving you a clear shot straight into the green. So you can see now at the back of the green, myself and our deputy Paul Gardner. Paul was doing setup this morning, so he's just very interested in the drone and how it works, so we're just watching it go by. So on to the 7th hole now, the par 3. The marsh reeds looking very healthy just now. We'll clear them out a little bit this winter, but there's a lot of nesting birds in there just now, and possibility of some amphibians as well. A little bit of work done on the left hand side of the 7th green this year, where we've softened that approach out. It was just a little bit too sharp. It wasn't very good for golf or for cutting really, so that's a big improvement there. And this for me is really where the course starts to get interesting. The best stretch of holes coming up now, starting on 8. I love this hole. I think it's a stunning golf hole, and it's a great introduction to what you're about to have next. We've actually kept some of the rough cut down at 4 inch on the left hand side to make it a little bit fairer. You see one of the guys this morning trying out a John Deere hand mower there as we fly up onto the beach now, onto the 9th hole. We have widened the next 2 fairways here, so 9 and 10 have both been widened, so just on the left hand side, try to encourage balls not to stop up in the rough there for the shorter hitter, but they might get a wee bounce down back onto the fairway there. As you can see, it looks a little bit worse for wear just now, but she'll come back nicely. We've got some of the village play guys out doing a great job on the divoting. So as we fly now over 10, you can see at the start, the front left of the fairway, we've widened that out a little bit. And as we turn up to the green, we get the first glimpse of the beach up here, and a stunning sand scrape that really is naturalised beautifully. And on my favourite hole now, with that lovely new scrape at the left and the right. A lot of the fantastic work that we've done on the beach really coming to fruition now, where you can see right the way through from this green now without any sight of trees or foliage at all on the beach, which has made a massive difference to the aesthetics. Now heading up the 12th hole. You can see all the gorse that's been ripped out on the left hand side there, really to try and halt any progression and swallowing up the dunes, and then the gorse just on the inside of the hole, which plays strategically. And one thing I noticed this morning when filming this was, as we turn around now to look up 13, the definition with the sun, looking at the sun, really is stunning. There's a lot of new sand areas on the left hand side with a break up dune on the 15th hole, and the scrape which we used to borrow fill from to build the dune and the areas around the tee is starting to naturalise quite well. We actually seeded this scrape on the left hand side just because we didn't want too much sand really, and it's starting to come in really nice. The area on the second half of the fairway has been opened up as semi-rough to give everyone a more of a fair bailout for playing their third shot in, especially if this hole is ever into the wind. The Farrow's Folly being a little bit wetter than usual. It's laid wet all winter due to the high water table, so it's not as in good condition as I would hope, but it's starting to recover nicely now. As we just set off now down the closing stretch, so we're heading down 14. A hole that saw a lot of traffic during the Open. It's a very popular area on the right hand side here, with the tented village being on the range. And this green as well is laid a little bit wetter than the rest during the winter, but she's recovered nicely. You see that slight tinge in the front of the green. And heading up to Little Eye now with the new sets of tees that we're just passing on our right hand side, and the new larger scrape on the front where we borrowed material from. You can see also now the bunker is separated from the scrape, and the right hand side bunker filled in just as the drone will start to turn around now. All this area around the back will be grassed in from September. We're going to start that project on September the 23rd. You can see the path's been widened on the left hand side now to accommodate more golfers. It was a bit narrow before. As I'm sweeping over the tees, and then right in the middle of the screen now is the new back tee, which has been flipped over. And as we head down 16, we can see the area grown in at the right hand side, which is the inside of the range. Really has helped the pros as well pick the balls up, because golfers are really focusing on hitting down a narrower strip instead of hitting from side to side, which really wasn't really required. And it makes the hole stand out as well a lot better. I love these straight lines straight into the green. We're probably one of the most famous sights in golf, the front left 3 bunkers with the clubhouse behind. And an area cut off behind the green should anyone fancy a pint after 16 holes and not 18. As we head down the new path that we put in for the Open off the first, which is still being kept nicely. As the hole dog legs left to the 17th green. A fairway that's come on a lot in the last couple of years. Struggled a lot with weed invasion. It was a very sparse fairway, but we've really grown that in nicely now. And as we turn around for the final hole, I noticed that on the film this morning, I was very impressed by the how much this fairway stands out. We've cut around the bunkers on the right hand side to give golfers more of a chance of taking it on. They're not punished as much should they come up a little bit short. It's very thick in there. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll maybe do another one in the autumn.